Hi, everyone. Welcome into Siren Records Monterey. It's Fresh Catch Friday. And yes, we went through our last big storm. I think it was yesterday. Anyway, or day before, I guess, maybe. And anyway, it's hopefully that's the last of it. It's just getting to be a lot here on the Central Coast. Everything is either flooded, falling over, or on fire. And our entire staff is just exhausted. I think everybody is so over it. For those of you that live in states that have harsh weather all the time, I know you're probably rolling your eyes, but we're not used to it. We can't cope. And I think we've all decided that we can never leave California because we just won't make it like anywhere else. So, anyway, let's keep our fingers crossed that the rain will have subsided for a while and give us a freaking break. Okay, so hi, if you're new, this is where we talk about some of the new releases, reissues, and represses that came out on vinyl today. And if you enjoy hearing about that kind of thing, I would highly suggest you hit that subscribe button down below. And always feel free to weigh in with your comments and questions. And I always start with a pick of the week, and also down below there's going to be a list that goes in relative alphabetical order. You guys, there's a lot of new releases this week, so there's going to be a lot on the list that we're not talking directly about, but you can at least see what else is out there. I'm trying to kind of keep it to a wide variety of different genres and maybe pick some things that are not quite so obvious, but stuff that you may not have brought to your attention otherwise, okay? But anyway, for my pick of the week, this is unusual, but I just kind of really like this, and it is the Duster Moods Modes 7-inch box, and it's comes to us from the Numero label. Now, this is a chance for you to be able to explore the Duster universe on this 45 RPM format, and this deluxe triple 7-inch box, it contains Duster's first single, 1997's Transmission Flux, and it includes Stars Will Fall and Orbitron, and 1998's Apex Trance-like featuring 4 Hours, plus Stratosphere's Painfully Absent Echo Bravo and the Lost 2002 outtake What You're Doing to Me. So anyway, they're all housed in replica sleeves of what they were like when they first came out, and they're placed in this sturdy two-piece, nice thick cardboard box. And Modes also contains a Duster branded hanky for those who like to accessorize or cry into that while they're listening to something a little emo. So anyway, this comes to us on what they're calling Blue Moods vinyl. I just thought it was like a real cool, different kind of piece, and something different. So that's actually my pick. But anyway, we have things to get through. And let's get started. I'm going to go as fast as I can for you, and some things we'll only barely touch on, but hopefully I've got a nice wide variety of a mix of things for you here. So let's get started. This is Omar Apollo, and this is called Ivory. Now this is on Warner Records. It's a reissue, the singer-songwriter's debut. It expands beyond bedroom R&B and to traverse genres with a dimension and control, and he can shift from wizened soul belter to 90s boy band innocence in a heartbeat. So you can get that again. This is August Burns Red, and this is called the Death Below Sunwave. Okay, and that is on the Sharp Tone Records label. Let me move this water bottle out of your way so maybe you can see it a little better. I'm trying to position myself so I don't get the fluorescent glare, but I can still see that there's some kind of glare happening here. We're trying our best, kids. Is that better? Nope, not really. Okay. The Sharp Tone debut from two-time Grammy-nominated artist August Burns Red. Overall, Death Below is a record of struggle through and through. And although ABR, we'll just call them ABR, they tend to look on the bright side even in the darkest times, there's something so purely heavy and melancholy about this. Their ninth outing, bold, ambitious, and communal. This is ABR's best record to date. There's 2 LPs, and it is limited to a run of 3,000. All right, this is Baby Metal, the other one. It's on Cooking Vinyl, and it's the 4th studio album by Baby Metal, and it's a concept album that reveals the other side of the Baby Metal story that until now remains untold. A total of 10 songs that have been discovered within the other one restoration project, with each song representing a unique theme based on 10 separate parallel worlds that they have discovered. So it's kind of a concept album. Now you can get this on black vinyl that has, like, I think a proper cover, but this is the indie exclusive I'm showing you, and it is on solid white vinyl. All right, this is Bad Brains' Rock for Light. This is through Org Music. Rock for Light is the second full-length album by Bad Brains. It was originally released in 1983. It was produced by Rick Ocasek of the Cars. Pressing features the original mix of the album for the first time in decades, and as the band originally intended it to be heard. Most fans will be more familiar with the 1991 reissue, which was remixed by Ocasek and bass player Daryl Jennifer. In addition to the new mixes, that version used an altered track order. So in coordination with the band, Org Music has overseen the restoration and remastering of the iconic Bad Brains recordings. This limited edition variant is on yellow vinyl with red splatter. Did I just say variant? I meant variant. I don't know why I developed an accent all of a sudden. Okay, this is cool. This is Basement Jaxx's reissue. It's called Remedy. This is through XL Recordings. Now, Remedy is their Joyous debut album from 1999. And it was one of the most assured, propulsive full lengths at the dance world has seen since Daft Punk's Homework. And a set of incredibly diverse tracks. Remedy is indebted to the raw American house of Todd Terry and Masters at Work, and it even shares the penchant for Latin vibes, especially on this horn-driven track called Bingo Bango and the opener Rendezvous, which trades a bit of salsa wiggle with infectious vocoderized disco. This edition has been pressed on double gold vinyl. All right, and if that weren't enough, we got another Basement Jaxx reissue of Rudy, and this one also comes through XL Recordings. So named after the infamous Brixton nightclub, Basement Jaxx's second album, Rudy, saw them continue to push boundaries of pop and club music. The album mixes classic house with generous lashings of punk, funk, R&B, jazz, hip-hop, two-step, and pop songcraft in a mad genre crash that works like a charm. And it features a massive tracks, Where Your Head's At, Romeo, Do Your Thing, and this edition has been pressed on pink and blue double vinyl. All right, then we have Bouncing Souls, 10 Stories High. This comes through Pure Noise Records. This New Jersey punk legends, the Bouncing Souls, they've released their new full length here. For over 3 decades, Bouncing Souls have been one of the most reliably joyful bands in punk rock, fostering an incredibly close kinship with their loyal listeners. And now on 10 Stories High, the band have taken this connection even further, creating an album of songs directly inspired by stories of their fans. So they've taken the focus off of their own thoughts and feelings, and they're really listening, and they're creating songs from stories of what they've been told and heard their fans. So this is the indie exclusive is on yellow, blue, and black twist. It kind of goes in a pinwheel sort of shape. And there's also, that's limited to 750 copies. Now, that comes with a digital download as well. And there's also blue with heavy white splatter, that version that also comes with a digital download. Now, the way to, of course, tell what's what, the indie exclusive here has got this kind of more golden sticker, and in tiny letters it tells you, and then this is the blue with the heavy white splatter here. All right, then we have Celtic Frost, Morbid Tales. This also comes to us from Noise Records. This is the debut EP by the Swiss extreme heavy metal band Celtic Frost, originally released in November of 1984. Now, with its highly focused thrash metal intensity and peculiar mix of satanic and esoteric lyrics, the album would sow the seeds of Frost's overwhelming influence for years to come. And along with the powerful visual impact of the band members' leather-bound wardrobe and badly drawn facial corpse paint, songs like Visions of Mortality and Morbid Tales would be analyzed, digested, and regurgitated by manic hordes of disillusioned European youths, forming their own death metal bands in years to come. Expanded here on double red vinyl, it includes bonus material, a 32-page 10-inch booklet, and with extended sleeve notes and 2 posters. So this is like your super deluxe here. All right. Then we have Luke Combs, Getting Old. This is Sony Music Nashville is putting this one out. And just 9 months after his 3-time Grammy-nominated record Growing Up was released, reigning CMA Entertainer of the Year, Luke Combs is back with a new companion album, Getting Old. It's Combs' 4th full-length album following 2022's Growing Up, 2019's 3-time platinum What You See Is What You Get, and his 4-time platinum debut, This One's For You. Across these 18 new tracks, Combs continues to establish himself as one of country music's most authentic and powerful voices as he reaches new lyrical depths, exploring themes of family, legacy, love, and personal growth. I don't know really, guys, about this. I'm not one for bro country, but I know a lot of people do like it, so I can't really tell you much there. This is Colby Cooper, Boy from Anderson County to the Moon. This is on the Wheelhouse Records label. This 23-year-old small-town East Texas native's debut album honestly reflects a slice of Americana, often too small to be observed and appreciated. So we'll see. He's a very young guy. We'll see what happens with him. All right, this is Cradle of Filth, and this is The Manticore and Other Horrors. This is on the Peaceville label. This is their 10th studio album. The Manticore and Other Horrors is the sound of Cradle of Filth revisiting terrain they first mined in 1996's Dusk of Her Embrace. It's not that the orchestra or theatrics are absent. I mean, this is Cradle of Filth after all, but they are placed in a balanced context, and they don't dominate. The enormous raw-sounding guitars, backbeat drum energy of earlier records is still abundant here. Okay, then we have... I know a lot of people are waiting for this. This is the new Lana Del Rey. It's called Did You Know That There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard? And this is on Interscope Records, and the 9th studio album from the acclaimed singer-songwriter, comprising 16 tracks and interludes with features that include, like, Father John Misty's on one of the tracks here. That would be worth it alone, just for him. A few other guests. Anyway, it follows the artist's 2021 albums, Chemtrails Over the Country Club and Blue Banisters. It's on heavyweight 180-gram black double vinyl in a gatefold sleeve on black, or there's a limited edition green vinyl with the alternate cover. And that's this one. And it's indicated, like here, down at the bottom, it kind of tells you that. Okay, so both of those are here for those of you that have been chomping at the bit and waiting for that, okay? Next up, this is Depeche Mode, Memento Mori. And Memento Mori, it's their 15th studio album, and it's their first as a two-piece lineup. It's Dave Gahan and Martin Gore, because their co-founder Andrew Fletcher passed away in 2022. So this is a gestation took place during the early stages of the COVID pandemic, resulting in themes inspired directly by that period. So the album is 12 tracks. They chart in a very vast expanse of mood and texture, from the ominous opening to its closing resolve, running the gamut from paranoia and obsession to catharsis and joy. So, and hitting a myriad of points in between. So you get two 180-gram black vinyl discs in a trifold jacket, and it's got a foil print cover. You can't quite see it, but this red is foiled. Is what they're talking about there. Printed inner sleeves and a 12 by 24 poster. And we also have this on CD as well. All right. This is Enslaved. And I think you pronounce this Heimdall. Okay, and this is on Nuclear Blast America, and it's the band's 2023 album here. It features usual storming double bass chromatic leads akin to Celtic Frost kind of a sound, moderate blast beating with a full minor key strumming akin to Watain and Blut aus Nord, and the usual post-rock intros that gave way to quieter up-tempos. Features more black metal tending chaotic arrangements and playing than their past work, but because of this, it sounds way less melodic and more repetitive. Only the final title track features this bizarre attempt at a drop A-sharp tuned My Dying Bride, early Paradise Lost, and Death Doom power chording. Anyway, it's on black vinyl, and that's here for you now. This is an interesting title. This is Fake Names, and it's on the Epitaph label. So if credibility were currency, Fake Names wealth would be like off the charts. So it's composed of Brian Baker from Minor Threat, Bad Religion, and Dag Nasty, Michael Hampton from SOA and Embrace, Dennis Leixden, I hope I'm saying his name right, Leixden, like Zen. He was from Refused and I and VSN, the International Noise Conspiracy. Okay, and then they have Johnny Temple from Boys Against Girls and Soulside, and the newest member, Brendan Canty from Fugazi and Rites of Spring. So the band is a veritable post-hardcore dream team, basically. And however, instead of rehashing the past, Expendables is a reinvention that sees the band dialing back the distortion and leaning into melodies. And the result pairs their unparalleled pedigree with pop sensibility that's slightly unexpected, but very, very satisfying. Okay, this is the new Fall Out Boy. So much for Stardust. This is through Warner Brothers, fueled by Ramen. Eighth studio album from the American rock band Fall Out Boy. Guitars are back with a vengeance from the first single, Love from the Other Side, which is also the album's opener. It's clear where things are headed. So Stardust is taking off at full speed, and it doesn't slow down until the end, incorporating everything that makes Fall Out Boy unique as a band. Very clever, ironic, and angsty lyrics, catchy guitars, pop influences, and above all, Patrick Stump's voice. So while some of their contemporaries have disbanded in the meantime or live off like greatest hits tours, Fall Out Boy demonstrate once again they still have their something to say more than 20 years into it, and that their fan base, they haven't really lost relevance. So this is, you can get it on black or Coke bottle clear, and this one will show you here that it's the limited edition on Coke bottle clear. All right, and then you also, if you feel so inclined, it comes on cassette in clear or pink. Okay, so those are here too. All right, next up. This is 4 Year Strong, Rise or Die Trying on I Surrender Records. So there was a period of time when sing-songy punk pop and emo were like two separate styles, especially when each initially gained popularity in the late 90s. But sometime during the early 21st century, both styles collided together, and many new groups formed, the case in point, 4 Year Strong, hailing from Worcester, Massachusetts. This quintet, comprised of two singer-guitarists plus bassist, synth player, and drummer, never met a tuneful melody that they didn't like. And as evidenced throughout the full-length debut, 2007's Rise or Die Trying. This is limited to 2,000 copies on opaque magenta vinyl. All right, this is Gale, A Study of the Human Experience, volumes 1 and 2. It's the, well, what is it? Some anniversary here. Oh, yeah. How can it be the 75th anniversary? That doesn't make sense. This is the Atlantic 75, but really? Anyway, it's a study of the human experience, Volume 1, the debut EP from the chart-topping singer-songwriter Gale. It's now available on vinyl. So the study of human experience, Volume 1, it sees Gale continuing to revel larger-than-life personality and willingness to expose her deepest insecurities and desires through her unfiltered yet beautifully nuanced brand of songwriting. Hailed by Rolling Stone as a summation of Gale's experience as a teen filled with lessons learned and failed friendships. Yeah, there's no way that this can be part of the 75th anniversary. I don't understand what they're talking about here, right? Does it have a... I don't know, you guys. I think that might be a mistake. Okay. Next up, this is Ghost Bath, Moon Lover. This is through Nuclear Blast America, sophomore release from Ghost Bath. It's clear with red splatter and limited to 1,000 worldwide. So they're an American post-metal band. The album is the first Ghost Bath release after the band was revealed to be from North Dakota. I think previous, they were, indicating to the press that they were from China or something. Anyway, some kind of a big shtick. But anyway, the album drew comparisons to California-based black metal band Deaf Heaven in terms of style and song titles, but they were criticized by Deaf Heaven's guitarist Kerry McCoy. So you have to make up your own mind about how you feel about that. There's a couple of reissues of Grantley Buffalo, Mighty Joe Moon. These are on the Chrysalis label. Limited 180-gram clear vinyl pressing in a gatefold jacket, digitally remastered. Mighty Joe Moon is the second studio album by Grantley Buffalo. It was originally released in 1994. And in addition to that, we are showing you Grantley Buffalo Fuzzy, also on the Chrysalis label, also on limited 180-gram clear vinyl, in a gatefold jacket, digitally remastered. It's the debut studio album by the rock band Grantley Buffalo. It was originally released in 1993. This is Sophie B. Hawkins' Free Myself on Lightyear. A truly essential singer-songwriter. Sophie's seventh album, Free Myself, is rooted in Hawkins' raw yet poetic lyrics and her distinctive, captivating vocals. Next up is Iron and Wine, Lori. Sorry about the sirens, and they're around. This is on Black Cricket Records. Lori finds Iron and Wine's Sam Beam drawing from the songbook of noted singer-songwriter and multiple Grammy winner Lori McKenna. Recorded at famed Sam Phillips Studios in Memphis, Tennessee with producer Matt Ross Spang. Sam Beam takes on four of his favorite McKenna tracks with help from Seema Cunningham and Macy Stewart, known collectively for their work in the indie pop band Phenom, on limited edition sky blue vinyl, and it does tell you that on the sticker. Yay, we like that. Okay, this is a wonderful reissue. This is Elton John, Honky Chateau. Believe it or not, it's the 50th anniversary of this album. Comes to us through Mercury. It was released in May of 1972. It's the fifth studio album by Elton John, which includes singles Rocket Man and Honky Cat, named after the 18th century Chateau de Hérouville outside Paris where it was recorded. This 50th anniversary edition contains the original album and a newly created selection of outtakes from the original session tapes. It includes an 8-page booklet containing rare photos, memorabilia, and an essay featuring interviews from those who were there at the time. This is on limited edition 180-gram gold vinyl. And, I always think of these records like this and, Madman Across the Water and Don't Shoot Me on the Piano Player. This is like when Elton John was like really, really good. And not so much in recent years or decades, you could say, but man, this is a great record. So that's a nice reissue for those that like the older stuff. All right, this is Kerala Dust. It's called Violet Drive. It's on the Play It Again Sam label. Kerala Dust's new album is a record deeply affected and influenced by its surroundings. The band formed in London in 2016 and are now based between Berlin and Zurich. And the three Brits have created a deeply European album torn between the past and the future. So they formed out of a growing love of electronic music fused with a history in indie bands. Like hypnotic elements are a defining force behind Kerala Dust, and whose music incorporates blues and Americana mixed thrillingly with untraditional electronic beats. So while releasing their debut album, Light West, towards the end of 2020, the band were driving into their new base in Berlin, and it's letting its deep, complicated history and landscape influence their next move. So they really draw from, like I said, their surroundings. And this guy, has this, it provides for them this framework where they get the lyrics, the instrumentation, flashes of bluesy guitars and woozy synths out there, very deep, syrupy vocals. They bounce off the songs and create this duality that kind of defines the album and forms this thrilling beating heart of Kerala Dust. It's also on gold vinyl. Okay. Now then there is Liturgy 93696, and this is on the Thrill Jockey label. 93696 is the purest synthesis of the diversity of Liturgy, a sprawling and monumental double album here, exploring religion, cosmic love, the feminine, the metamorphosis while manifesting the ecstatic with breathtaking grandeur. And it may be a lot to digest in one sitting, but 93696 offers a distillation of everything that makes liturgy important to modern music. Now, it's incredibly gratifying to hear a band with so much drive and to push boundaries and succeed in such a satisfying way. So that's a double album. Like I said, maybe not on the first go, but it's a grower. All right, this is Lowrider, Refractions, Blues Funeral Recordings is putting this one out. New repressing of Lowrider's triumphant comeback LP. So before Monolord, Truck Fighters, and Graveyard, one band stood at the dawn of the Kyuss-inspired desert rock movement. With their seminal Ode to the Low album, Lowrider spawned thousands of imitators, and they return at long last with undeniable album Refractions to deliver on their mythic status as progenitors of a worldwide phenomenon. So these guys were the OGs for that stoner desert rock. This comes on cream magenta colored merge vinyl. So yeah, you can get that. All right, this is a reissue of NSYNC, self-titled, the 25th anniversary on the Legacy Recordings label. So their first album, originally released in 1998. Sorry. Available on black vinyl. Debut smash features 13 tracks, including the hits Tearing Up My Heart and I Want You Back, among others. Okay, this is Gary Newman, Pure, on the Ear Music label. And in the year of the millennium, 2000, the British cult musician released his 14th studio album, Pure, which, with its mix of gloomy doomsday sounds and hard guitar staccato, finds its roots in the genres of industrial and gothic rock. Filled with pumping beats and guitars that sound like straight from a machine, Pure is an intense musical journey from start to finish. This is a limited edition 180-gram crystal clear 2LP set. And there's the sort of photo. They're showing you the crystal clear there. Okay. This is Periphery. And Periphery 5, Degent is Not a Genre. This is through 3 Dot Recordings. And the 7th album from the progressive metal band Periphery. Periphery 5, Degent is Not a Genre, is the follow-up to 2019's Periphery 4, Hail Satan. The album was self-produced by Periphery on double cobalt with white splatter vinyl. Okay. Then we have Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. This is live at Wembley. And it's on Pink Floyd Records. It's 1974 performance, available on 180-gram vinyl LP for the first time. Part of the Dark Side of the Moon 50th anniversary celebration. It includes original 1973 line-drawn cover art and 2 posters. So now listen, this is just the latest installment of the feud between Gilmour and Waters. This thing has literally been going on since the recording of Animals. You're watching a 50-year-old fight play out here. So Gilmour trying to insist that they were best as a unit, and Waters trying to claim that he did all the work. So you be the judge. Here it also comes on CD. All right, this is Bella Porch. It's the Dolls EP on Warner Records. So Dolls serves as Bella's first full body of work following a handful of wildly acclaimed singles. In early 2021, she released her debut track, Build a Bitch. Upon its release, the music video for the song hit #1 on the global and U.S. YouTube video charts, marking the biggest debut ever for a new artist with over 400 million views to date. That's a lot. The video hit 50 million likes on TikTok, becoming the first in history to do so, and has been streamed more than 885 million times to date. Its follow-up, Inferno with Suburban, was met with similar praise and peaked in the top 5 on YouTube's video charts. I think this is one of those that came out actually in 2022, but it's probably another victim of supply chain because it hasn't been in, and it's finally trickled on in. Okay, now we have Elvis Presley, Elvis Live 1972 through Legacy Recordings. Elvis 72 compiles the best of the live tracks from the new 6 CD and Blu-ray box set Elvis on Tour. This was recorded at 4 Elvis tour dates throughout April of 1972. Most of these tracks are previously unreleased and appear here on vinyl for the very first time. All right, this is RBL Posse, Rebel Posse, A Lesson to Be Learned, and this is on Right Way Productions. So this is the 30th anniversary special limited edition of 1,000 copies of the classic San Francisco gangster rap album with killer lyrics and strictly street beats on clear with black and white splatter vinyl. This is the album that put Rebel Posse and San Francisco rap on the map in 1992, and it also, there's an intro by Herm and special appearance by Totally Insane. All right, this is the Scarlet Goodbye, Hope Eternal. The label is the Label Group, and the Scarlet Goodbye, labeled the most unlikely mashup in Minnesota music history, is a creative combination of Daniel Murphy, he was in Soul Asylum, and Golden Smog, and Jeff Arundale. So Murphy stepped away from in 2012 after 30 years of recording and touring. A chance meeting with the mellow singer-songwriter Arundale led the duo to start writing and recording together, and the result is their full-length album here, Hope's Eternal, produced by John Fields and released via Nashville's The Label Group. And this is on red vinyl, and it does tell you that there. Okay, this is cool. This is The Slackers, The Question, and this comes through Pirates Press Records. The Question is a crucial cornerstone in the history of New York City ska reggae legends, and The Slackers is an essential album in the collection for any fan of the band or multiple genres they effortlessly fuse together. Originally released in 1998, The Question marked the third LP in 3 years for the band, and in the immediate follow-up to their breakthrough album Red Light from the previous year. So the album was written and recorded amidst a non-stop schedule of touring and live performances. Recording took place at Coyote Studios in Brooklyn and at Tim Armstrong's Blood Clot studio in Los Angeles. So all of these things contributed to cementing the Slackers' place at the forefront of the 90s ska revival in the U.S. and worldwide, as well as their reputation for being one of the most authentic bands, paying respect to the roots of the genre. Unavailable to retail for the last 15 years, Pirates Press Records is thrilled to represent The Question for its 25th anniversary, an album whose place among the Slackers' early classic albums is truly without question. That's kind of cool. You can get that now. All right, this is Trey Songz, Ready, on the Atlantic label. Now, this was the third studio album by American R&B recording artist Trey Songz. It was originally released in 2009, and Songz had really developed as a vocalist since his debut, and he's more elastic here. He uses his falsetto judiciously, and he's clearly got a sentimental streak, though, as heard on the winsome I Need a Girl and Jupiter Love, which will either send you into a delight or a sugar coma. It's very sticky, sweet R&B, okay? I believe that's just on black vinyl. Yeah, and that's part of that Atlantic series. See, again, this is not 75th anniversary. I guess it's Atlantic's. Maybe Atlantic has been around for 75 years. You'd think I would know this shit, right? But it's been a long couple of weeks, and I'm a little brain dead, so I'm doing my best, okay? This is a various artists. It is called Trip Hop Experience, Volume 1. This is on the Wagram label, and it's a double vinyl pressing. It includes tracks by Quantic, Kid Loco, Alex Gopher, Moby, Gotan Project, Bonobo, Fatboy Slim, Goldfrapp, Cold Cut, and many others. And yeah, it's a double. You get a lot of music there. This is a reissue here by the great Sharon Van Etten, and it's called Tramp. And this is the anniversary edition on Jaguar. Yeah, just the third album by American singer-songwriter Sharon Van Etten, and originally released in 2012. For the recording, she collaborated with Zach Condon, Wyoke's Jennifer Wasner, Juliana Barwick, Walkman's Matt Barrick, and Thomas Bartlett, and Aaron Dressner of The National. Dressner also produced the album and provided the studio. Actually, he was the guy that really saw in her how great she could be and encouraged her. And I think, to this day, I think she really just like appreciates him. He's the one that really drew her out to be like a strong and forceful singer-songwriter that she really is. So the updated version here, it includes a previously unreleased song that This Is Too Right, and it's available on what they're calling Crimson Splash vinyl. So very nice. That kind of would have been my pick, but I don't really like to pick reissues necessarily. Anyway, this is World is a Beautiful Place, and I Am No Longer Afraid. It's called Thank You for Being Here, and it comes to you through Epitaph. Thank You for Being Here. It's a new live album by The World is a Beautiful Place, and I Am No Longer Afraid to Die is a companion piece to a feature-length documentary film of the same name. After multiple delays, the seven-piece band from Connecticut set out on the road in a van and in fall of 2021 for a 5-week tour to support their critically acclaimed album Illusory Walls. They brought with them a documentary filmmaker and an audio engineer to capture the adventures. The collection of song features fan favorites from the band's catalog, along with a deep dive into their latest studio album. Thank You for Being Here. The film gives you an inside look at the realities of touring as an independent musician and struggle of touring in the time of COVID. And the film is slated for release in October, one of the 1-year anniversary of the band's latest studio album, Illusory Walls. God, I can't say that word. Illusory Walls. Okay, so that is that. And that is my pile for you. Now, you'll see again, like I said on the list, there's a lot more. But man, there's just so many releases. We would be here all night, all weekend, in fact. So I hope you find something that you like. And thanks for hanging in there. If you made it for the full 38 minutes here, I appreciate you. And if you just ever want to skip ahead, remember there's a little button down on your screen that can zip through too. Okay, so have a great weekend, everyone. Please make the rain stop. And I would like to stay dry this weekend. I hope you do too. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.